about Sparks? He's crawling up to the line. That's not going to improve.
He is in P2 with Sparks in P3 and Jarno P4. It's
Jarno, 2 laps to try and catch him. 1.3 seconds to gap. Can he get that into DRS the last second?
but look at Jarno! He's put himself on the inside! He's going to take his 4th win of the season!
Hey guys, it's me, Wilson, and we're back with another video, but we're not on F1 22 this time. I wanted to do a little bit of a different video where I look back on the first time I raced an esports driver, to say, which was actually Jarno, the current 2-time F1 Esports champion. I think it would be quite interesting to look back on it, kind of just a video to, reflect on the past. This was in F1 2019, so about 3 to 2 years ago, roughly. And yeah, I think it's quite interesting to look back on it. I've looked back on it a little bit here and then, and some things make me cringe a little bit, definitely my defending. But yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting to look back on it, tell you what I was thinking, maybe even say what I could have done better and what I've learned now, 3 or 2 years on from now. So yeah, let's get right into it, and let's watch these last 4 laps I've got saved in my PZ. Okay, so, yeah, jumping straight into it pretty much. We've got 4 laps to go, and we're kind of just going to talk over it and what happened. I tried to add a little bit of, how do I say, like, context at the start of the video, but pretty much I qualified P3. I think it was Jarno P4. Jarno actually got wing damage at the start, but a safety car helped him catch back up. So that's why he's in this position. I think, from what I remember, I pit as early as you could on these soft tyres. And it may not look it from watching this back, and a lot of people can't really remember the handling of F1 2019. But the tyres were very icy at this stage. I think Jarno might have had 3 or 4 lap better tyres, something around that range. So yeah, going into this race, I definitely wasn't expecting anything. I remember this was actually during COVID time, so yeah, I remember getting back into PSGL on PlayStation, not on PC. And thinking, yeah, let's do some league racing. COVID's happened, it's lockdown, I've got so much free time, let's do some league racing. And yeah, I never expected to be fighting Jarno, because at the time, racing on PlayStation, esports was on PC, started in 2017, this is 2019. I just didn't expect to be racing an esports driver. Jarno came back to PlayStation for some reason. I think he was just bored. And yeah, I mean, not racing an esports driver and then going to racing Jarno, I was a little bit confused in the sense I didn't really know how they race. You always hear things about esports drivers being extremely aggressive, and yeah, they definitely are, but I didn't think, how would I say it, like, they'd be this passive. Like, every 2 seconds I was expecting a dive bomb from Jarno type of thing, and I guess that was just me being inexperienced. I was 15 at the time. I wasn't even close to turning 16 as well. But yeah, I hope that's a little bit of context. I've got these 4 laps actually because I remember my race engineer. I think was it my race engineer? No, I was in CRG at the time, hence CRG Sparks. Ben Goldie, who's actually the Merc engineer right now, asked for my last 4 laps to kind of go over it. So that's the only reason I have these last 4 laps on POV. So that's thanks to Ben, as we get a track warning. And I remember, I think, by this point in the race, I had 2 warnings, so I could not get 1 more. So I've got Jarno chasing behind me, fresher tyres, I cannot get 1 more warning, I've got no ERS, and for the first time for racing against an esports driver, I was absolutely bricking it. I can remember I was terrified. I really didn't know what I was doing, just inexperience again. I'm sure if you put me or anyone in this situation, to be fair, they would do a better job than me, because at the time, league racing was pretty fresh in the memory, and it was still low-key new to me. I started in 2019, 2018, so this was still my early stages of league racing. You can see I can't really see the gap there, but it's definitely closing. It's not like on the current games where it updates every 2 seconds. It's literally updating as you go through each new sector, I think it is. So yeah, can't really see that gap, but Jarno's definitely closing at this point. Jarno's definitely quicker. I think that says 6 tenths. I cannot see that gap, or 9 tenths going into turn 1. So yeah, he's right behind me, and at this point, this is where I'm thinking he's just going to send it, have a lunge, You know, just me being a little bit naive to how people actually race. I just wasn't sure. So you can kind of just see I'm already kind of terrified, you know, trying to set up the exit out of turn 3. You can see the tyres are horrible. Still planting the throttle on this F1 2019, you know, traction and handling. And then, what are we doing here? For some reason, we decide to defend, and I really don't know what I was thinking of there. That's already lost us a lot of time. You can see how close to us he is. We defend again going through there. Yeah, not really too sure what's going on here. Coming around here, we're kind of in the middle of the track, which is not helping. We miss the apex of this next corner. We're just so off the limit. As you can see, now we're in overtake when you could change overtake and rich mix at the same time. Going into the last corner, we're still defending for some reason. We defend again, and through the last corner, Jarno bashes us off the track. And
he just shoved me off. What's he doing?
On track. But,
that was mine. He's just shoved me off. Come on.
You can hear
Jarno.
I'm not very happy with Jarno there.
That's unfair.
Yeah, I'm really not too sure. There's a lot of things we could have done better in that race, like not defending at every single corner. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick look back at that and you know, properly point out the things we've done wrong. So yeah, I think looking back in this, there's a lot of things we could have done better, and I think anyone with eyes can see that. Genuinely, I didn't think it was this bad before looking back at it. Like, I didn't think I was this nervous. This corner is completely fine. We do everything right here. But yeah, like, genuinely, I'm shocked myself looking back at how bad the defending was. I knew it was bad and I knew I was inexperienced, but I didn't think it was this bad. Like, here in the middle of the track, it's just not going to work. Like, if Jarno even thought about sending me there, he'd just be getting turned in on and spinning. Do you know what I mean? And then here, yeah, it's just silly things. And I think looking back in this kind of helps you remind yourself, in a sense, that experience really does matter. You know, it's not an overrated comment at all. Like, going through here, what am I doing? Defending, going into, yeah, like, I should be far over to left, keeping the wheel turning right, squeezing Jarno. It's just, yeah, I mean, I leave a cards with, which is why I still got, Jarno got a 5 seconds and I still got the win. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, to say the least. And yeah, I think that goes back to, I think experience is a fairly important thing. Maybe not so much now, as everyone's a lot better than that. I think league racing at the time was not as good. But yeah, let's go back to my lovely face and we'll talk a little bit about it. But yeah, I definitely found that very interesting watching that back. I'm not going to lie, I cringe very hard watching that back. But yeah, it's quite a nice wee flashback just to kind of look over it and look back at the race. I remember the commentators as well were very immature in a sense. They just took the mick out of me, which, to be honest, looking back at it, I cannot blame them at all. My defending was atrocious. But at the same time, I think I learned a lot from that race. You know, first time I raced an esports driver. At the time, I think Jarno was in Renault, and he finished, I think he finished top 5 in esports, something like that. And yeah, that's how it goes, I guess. But it was a good learning experience for me. At the end of that race, I could also say I beat Jarno, which for a 15-year-old who probably shouldn't be beating Jarno at the time, I was very proud of that. It was definitely something that I was proud of, and I think I might have been the only person. There might have been another person on the grid who beat him that season, but there wasn't many people who beat him that season, so it was quite an ego flex to say I beat him. I remember Twitter that night was definitely going a little bit crazy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I tried to just keep the video as casual as possible, kind of just me talking over what I was thinking. The 4 laps were very short. It's the only footage I've got of me against Jarno, so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I did not enjoy watching that. It was probably the cringiest experience I've had in my life. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've got any video suggestions you have or you want to see, please leave them in the comments below. I might make a video on how to make a time trial setup, a race setup. I've been thinking of that for a while. But yeah, if that's all, see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Jarno, you can see little blocks there on the inside as well. No way for him, and look at Jarno. He's put himself on the inside. He's going for it. He'll be contact. And who's going to go out there and lead? I think it's going to be Jarno. He's going to take his 4th win of the season. I don't know how
He just shoved me off. What's he doing? That was mine. He's just shoved me off. Come on. Jarno. That's annoying.
Fucking